Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina passed away on July 11, 2026, at the age of 71 after a sudden illness. Senator Graham served over 3 decades in Congress, first in the House, then in the Senate, and left behind a legacy that was largely not defined by personal wealth. Remarkably, his net worth at his death was relatively modest compared to many of his colleagues. Today, we're breaking down what Lindsey Graham's net worth was at the end of his life, how he built or didn't build it, and how it compares to his congressional peers. Let's start with the numbers everyone's wondering about. Lindsey Graham's estimated net worth at the time of his passing was approximately $2.6 million. That net worth is primarily made up of cash, mutual fund investments, and the value of his townhome in D.C. and his home in South Carolina, less the related mortgage on the D.C. home. According to public reporting, this places him roughly in the middle to lower half of Congress, specifically around 294th out of 535 voting members. What's notable about Senator Graham's financial disclosure reports is how stable his net worth has been over the last decade. According to our estimates at Net Worth Watch, and based on our review of his financial disclosures over the last decade, he wasn't even worth $1 million until roughly a decade ago. No massive stock portfolio, no lavish real estate empire, and no signs of leveraging his position for outsized personal gain. For a senior senator earning $174,000 annually for decades, this does appear notably restrained. Before we understand his finances, we have to understand where Lindsey Graham came from. Lindsey Graham was born July 9, 1955 in central South Carolina, a small mill town. His parents, Millie and Florence James Graham, owned and operated the Sanitary Cafe, a bar, restaurant, pool hall, and liquor store. The family lived in one room behind the bar. Young Lindsey bathed with water heated on the stove, and by age 12 was working downstairs racking pool tables to help the family. He was the first in his family to attend college, earning degrees from the University of South Carolina. But then tragedy struck. His mother died while he was in school, followed by his father just 15 months later. At 22 years old, Graham became the legal guardian for his 13-year-old sister, Darlene. This was not a story of inherited wealth. There was no family, trust, or significant assets passed down. The bar and the family business provided a modest living at best, and the tragedies left him focused on stability rather than riches. He joined the Air Force, served as a lawyer, and built a foundation through public service and law. Graham entered Congress in 1995 as a U.S. representative and moved to the Senate in 2003. For over 31 years, his primary income was the congressional salary of $174,000 in recent years. He largely avoided the high-risk, high-reward investing that some colleagues pursued. His disclosures consistently showed conservative holdings, which have included mutual funds, treasury securities, and real estate. He purchased his Seneca home years earlier for around $164,000 and owned a D.C. townhome with a small remaining mortgage. No major inheritances boosted him. His wealth grew steadily but modestly through his salary, pensions, and savings and investing. Critics and watchdogs often noted he didn't appear to cash in on his influence the way some peers did, through speaking fees, books, or aggressive stock trading. The average net worth in Congress is significantly higher. Many members sit in the tens or hundreds of millions thanks to business empires, inheritances, or savvy, sometimes controversial, investing. Graham ranked near the bottom half, around 294th. For context, the typical American, aged 65 to 74, has a median net worth around $400,000 to $1.8 million. Graham's net worth was barely above the median range despite decades at the highest levels of power. What do you think? Is a modest net worth after 30 years in Congress admirable or a missed opportunity? Drop your thoughts below, and I'll see you in the next one.